Hello, Year 3, Mrs. Doran here. So it's time to do some English. Now you might notice that this has 2 days up here. So it says Tuesday, the 9th of February, and it says Thursday, 11th of February. And that's because those two lessons are basically the same. So you can watch this video twice if you like on Tuesday and Thursday, or you can try and memorize it. I kind of feel that you should watch it twice, but it's up to you. So what we're doing on Tuesday and Thursday are we editing, redrafting, and proofreading our diary entry. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, but we're going to do it guided. We've done all these before, so you should be really good at doing this. So let's go through and see what we've got to do. First thing first, we need to look at our toolkit. Now, I know you looked at them with Miss Cosler the other day, but it's really important to keep reminding ourselves of all the different things that you need to include in your diary. So we need paragraphs. So basically in one paragraph, you should just write about one event. You might find that you need two. Sequence and chronological order, so they must come with the earliest event first to the latest event. Rich vocabulary, you know all about that already. Dates, a period of time, so you must have a date in there somewhere. It is like a recount, it's written in the past. It tells you about something that has happened. Okay, usually in recount we don't include quite so many feelings, which is the difference between a diary and a recount. Okay, you can use conjunctions, you know about those. Adverbals, time, place, and cause. Again, year 3 objective, so make sure you're doing that. Authorial voice, that's when you're speaking in character and some of your kind of feelings come through. Indirect speech, we'll go through that in a minute. Noun phrases, you know what they are. Informal tone, that means you're a bit chatty, you're talking to yourself, it's not writing a very posh letter to anyone. Past tense, we talked about already. First person writing, that's when you are the main character saying I saw this and I did that. Okay, so that's what we've got to remember to include, all right? So let's see what we have to do next. So just a quickie about direct speech. So direct speech is when actually you report in your writing what someone's actually said. So I'm tired, I said. So you include your inverted commas, your punctuation before the end of inverted commas, and your reporting clause. Indirect speech says what someone said. It doesn't say exactly what they said, but it kind of gives that content. I told them that I was tired. Okay, so indirect speech doesn't need inverted commas because you're not directly reporting what the person has said. You're just telling the reader roughly of the content of what they said. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is read your diary entry out loud to check it makes sense. So if you have a section of writing that doesn't make sense, you need to redraft it. Okay, remember, this means writing out that section of writing again, so it does make sense. So if you're using a computer, very easy to do. You could delete all the bit that doesn't make sense and rewrite it so it does make sense. It's very important that you need to change it. If you're writing on a piece of paper, you might want to get an additional slip of paper, rewrite your section on that, and then stick that piece of paper over the top so you've got like a flap. Okay, you might notice that piece of your writing needs more imagery, more detail, or you might notice that you haven't included many of the toolkit features, or you haven't written the past tense, and all this means that the whole section will need to be redrafted. Occasionally, it might be your whole piece of work. Let's hope not. Okay, so now we're going through to editing your work. So off you go. You need to go redraft your work and then come back and unpause me when you've done that, and we'll go to editing if you need to redraft. Right, you're back. So let's have a look at editing. So editing is more like a sentence level, really. It's can we improve a sentence or a word? So we use word banks to improve our vocabulary choices here. So here, I've got a simple sentence. I killed the Nemean lion. So I think I can use my word bank to help me. So I'm going to have a look down here at feelings. I've got furious. The beast could be really mad. And then down here, what else have I got to see how Heracles feels? Oh, I know. I said that glow of happiness spread through me. So after, front of the verbal, I'd killed a furious beast. I felt as though I was on top of the world and a glow of happiness spread through my exhausted body. There we go. So I've gone through that sentence there and I've added lots more imagery and detail into this sentence by looking at my word bank. So you can do that too. Oh, that's the challenge. You need to make sure you do 3 sentences. So you've got to improve or edit 3 sentences. Use the word bank to help you. So proofreading. Do you remember last time we did this? We separated proofreading into checking out punctuation and checking our spelling. So the first thing we need to do is punctuation. I'm hoping that you've already gone back and edited your work and changed 3 sentences. If you haven't, off you go, and then come back and pause me. Done it? Right. Punctuation. Every single sentence needs a full stop. Okay? Shouldn't be having to tell you this, but I need to keep reminding you. So full stop at the end of every sentence, not just at the end of a paragraph, but every sentence. You need capital letters at the start of every sentence and also for proper nouns. There's lots of proper nouns, names like Zeus, Hera, Heracles, Hercules. All those different names need to have a capital letter, okay, and also the name of places that happens. Now, there are lots of other punctuation. You can look for commas, apostrophe, question marks, but we're going to have a look at exclamation marks because we use exclamation marks quite a lot in diaries because they express strong feelings. So if you're really angry or really sad, you might want to use an exclamation mark. I've drawn one here for you just to remind you what they look like, although I expect you know already. So it's like a full stop with a line over the top, and usually it comes at the end of a sentence. Do not use an exclamation mark, and it's absolutely necessary. And sometimes people use 3 or 4 exclamation marks after each other. You only need to use 1 at a time. Don't use 3 or 4. Don't need 2. Okay? So if you've got strong feelings, you're feeling really sad, I was devastated, then you might need to use your exclamation mark at the end of that sentence. Okay, exclamatory sentences. Now you do this in year 2, so there's a bit of a recap. Exclamatory sentences usually start with the words what or how, and they need to include a verb. Now you can use exclamatory sentences at the end of your diary to exclaim about what kind of day it's been. There we go, here's an example. What a rewarding day it has been. So there we go, my sentence starts with what, it's got a verb in it, and it's got an exclamation mark there to tell the reader what kind of day it's been. Okay, so it's quite a useful ending for a diary. Down here, a little recap quickly about apostrophes. Remember, you need to use apostrophes for contraction. So if you've got 2 words, like could not, you put them together, some of the letters pop out, and you have to put an apostrophe where the letters pop out. So for couldn't, the O's popped out, so I need an apostrophe there for that. Then you also need to use apostrophes for possession. So to say if something belongs to something. So here we've got Heracles' horse. So you notice I've got an apostrophe, then an S, okay? Because the horse belongs to Heracles, so I need an apostrophe here to show it belongs to him, and an additional S. Do not use apostrophes for groups of things. Oh look, the horse has got 2 S's in there. I'll get rid of that quickly. So you need to make sure that you are using apostrophes. Okay, ready? Let's see if we get rid of it. Going, gone. So apostrophes if something belongs to somebody, but not for plurals like horses. Don't use 2 S's either. Okay, so horses is a group of something. You do not need apostrophes for a group or something, just if it belongs to something. Okay, I know that we went about before. So let's go on. Hopefully you've checked your punctuation. Now we're going on to spellings. Okay, so when you've done your punctuation, you need to check all your spellings. And to do that, you can use your word mats. These are on Padlet. You should have them already because we've used them a lot this half term. So use that, make sure your spellings are correct. If you're not sure about a word and it's not on these mats, you can use a dictionary to help you. You can use Google spell check as well. If you're working on any certain spelling patterns that Miss Dowdy or Mrs. Harvey Gay have given you, then you need to check to make sure those are spelled correctly as well. All right? So there's a few things there for you to do. When you've done all that, the last thing you need to do is read through your diary entry again to check you haven't missed anything. Okay? Well done if you've done that. Don't forget, you need to send your diary entries to your teachers. We love to see all your work. So remember, this video is for Tuesday, the 9th of February, and also for Thursday, the 11th of February. So you're going to do your editing, redrafting, and proofreading on both those days. Okay? Right, see you soon.